Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's CNCF TAG Environmental Sustainability meeting. Today is Wednesday, July the 3rd. And just as a reminder, this is a CNCF community meeting, so it falls under the CNCF Code of Conduct. I can send the link to the meeting notes in chat. Please add yourself to the attendees list. That would be great. And starting things off, we would like to welcome everybody that joined this meeting for the first time. So if you would like to say something, raise your voice, introduce yourself quickly, feel free. So most people are, I think, attending the meeting are kind of familiar faces. We have Vivek. If you would like to say a few words, feel free, or you can also write something in chat if you like. And most
Hey,
others.
Hey Leo and everyone. My name is
Ah,
Vivek. I live in Austin, Texas as well, and I work at VMware.
awesome, awesome. Great to have you. All right. Then moving to the working group updates. So as I said, we are kind of missing a couple of people. I mean, we're in the summer. So a lot of people are taking vacations, and I think generally it's getting a bit slower these times. Is there anybody who joined the last working group comms meeting? I don't think I was around last time. Valeria, Christina.
No, I wasn't able to join last time, unfortunately.
All
Yeah,
right.
me too.
All right. No worries. I will ask Claire afterwards if she can give an update. I think she was working on the role definitions, so the sub-team roles, if I remember correct. And then also we talked about KubeCon, so KubeCon North America. We submitted the interest of having a maintainer talk at KubeCon. We have not yet sent a proposal, so we need to work on it. But we mentioned that we would like to have a maintainer talk and a mini kiosk, so some booth. And I'm not sure. Maybe there's like some other stuff going on in working group comms. All right. Then moving
I
to
can
yeah.
I can take lead on the maintainer talk since it looks like it's probably me and I'm sorry, I don't remember his
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like last times, so that we just submit like a kind of like a generic talk, and then and when we approach KubeCon and we know, okay, we talk, I don't know, like 30% of the time about this project or whatever, then we kind of figure out first of all like the slides, and then also like the people, so who's providing the talk, who is around, and so on. All right. I also see we have one additional new joiner, Ayan. So we had like a quick introduction. If you would like, you can also say a few words, introduce yourself.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Arun Parashar. I'm from Media. I'm also the Lens ambassador and Lens champion. I'm pretty much engaged in the whole cloud native domain, different uh, particular projects. And I'm also a content creator, video creator, technical writer, and I've written some applications as well, and developer. Yeah, I'm really excited and interested about the sustainability as well. We talk about the sustainability and security lens and their interests. So that's Germany.
Awesome. Great to have you here. All right. Then moving to the next section, working group green reviews. I saw Antonio, you joined. Would you like to give an
Yes.
update?
Yeah, sorry for the delay. But yeah, working group review is doing fine. So what happens is we have most of the so we have our proposal for this quarter, and like we have these steps: deploy, benchmark, and measure. And then basically for the first proposal, which is deploy, already all the GitHub actions are there, and two of them have been merged, so it's like good state, almost done there. And then like Nikki posted a PR for the proposal 2, so we are finalizing the discussion before the next meeting on that one too, so that we can start there also to have more GitHub actions, GitHub issues, yeah, like this is the PR exactly. So feel free to comment, and this is mostly about the workflow of how we run the benchmarks, and after the project from the CNCF is deployed on the cluster. And yeah, we had some ideas, and Nikki wrote down all the details, and yeah, we're looking forward to merge this before the next meeting. So the next working group meeting, but yeah, like it's good to have a round of discussion. So I haven't seen many comments there, but yeah, feel free to take a look. And they put quite amount of work there. Then we have proposal 3, which is about benchmarking. There also have been mentioned to be some good progress, but still not a PR yet. And proposal 4 instead, which is an investigation on the different benchmarking techniques that we could do long term for the working group, is still open for discussion. Yeah, exactly. This is what we talked about briefly. So yeah, if you go, I can just recap. If you go up a bit to proposal 1 and 2. So proposal 1, like the PR has been merged, and there is like the tracking issues for all the GitHub for all the issues regarding proposal 1. 2 of them have been already implemented. So like if you click on the tracking issue, then like we can have an overview of that as well. Exactly. And two more are to be done, and one of them should be already like good first issue. It's something simple. You can read the discussion, and yeah, if you feel like you can contribute, feel free to do so. Or like if you feel like okay, something is not clear from the project perspective, you can ask some questions. This also helps us to understand if the issue is clear or not. And this is like proposal 1, which is again about deploying the CNCF project, in this case Falco, to have this carbon footprint evaluation. And yeah, proposal 2 is the one we discussed before. So the PR is open. We're in the review state. So I think, yeah, and here we need one more tick box. Can you tick that box, the second one in proposal 2? Are you allowed to do it?
This one?
Yeah, that is there. Thanks. And then like, yeah, with the review step. And so instead for proposal 3, the PR needs to be handed over, but some people are working on it, and namely I think Chris Chinchilla has reported that is taking some time to structure a PR. Hopefully we can have some feedback next session. And what is left, what we need a lead on, we're currently looking for lead. maybe it would be optimal to have some people that have some experience, but even people that didn't have experience can try to brainstorm together. But we're still missing a lead for a proposal about the benchmarking investigation. And that's that's the state of the working group green reviews.
Awesome, thank you. What about the discussions that we had last time with Kepler, and that they're starting a very similar project around CI?
Yeah, like I think there was a thread that Nikki followed. I read a bit, and I think the conclusion was that in the end, it's slightly two different topics. But I need to dig down a bit deeper because I really couldn't follow the messages, and it looked like it was concluded there. But yeah, maybe we can still ping. So I will ping them. Oh yeah, hi Nikki.
Hi, I'm here now. So with the Kepler folks, yeah, then the thread, I think we realized they're not trying to gather metrics about CNCF projects. They may use CNCF projects to test Kepler. The pipeline they're building does look quite similar to what we are building. So it was a question of whether they can somehow reuse some of what we've built for their testing, but that remains to be seen. So we're just trying to see where the similarities and differences are. So we'll keep talking. I think I have some follow-up questions.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. All right. Are there any questions for working group green reviews? Does not seem like it. So the next meeting for the working group is next week in this time slot. So if you would like to attend, feel free to join. And moving to the next section about projects. The first one about best practices for environmental sustainable Kubernetes clusters. And we don't have Jacob in this meeting to give an update. Do we have anybody who joined the last meeting? I believe the last meeting was on Monday.
Yeah, I joined on Monday. Can you hear me?
Yes. Would you like to say what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had an issue with headphones. I hope it should be good now. So the update is that Jacob did just an overview of what this project is about and how to get started. And then afterwards, he mentioned that there will be no meeting in July because he's on vacation, and I think the other lead cannot take the responsibilities for now. So I guess this was it. It was quite short.
All right, sounds good. Okay, yeah, I feel like the project may need a bit more help in terms of maybe also scope and where to focus on. Like also the difference between all the general things that we already have, that we kind of know about Kubernetes to like improve the structuring, how to set up Kubernetes in an efficient way, how to structure, I don't know, all sorts of things, and how it differentiates from the work that this project should focus on. But maybe this is something once Jacob is back and once Martha is also back. Yeah. Does anybody has some more thoughts on this project? Marlo, Christina, anybody?
Yeah, I think Siam recently asked in the Slack channel. So this project has a Slack channel just for the information for the new joiners. If you would like to to take a look at this project. So we discussed the potential to maybe not focus on writing a big document that will include all the best practices, but try to split up the scope and just release every piece as a blog post, and then we could group it together potentially as a blog series or even like a separate document, but then it would be easier to, or maybe more manageable to do that than to focus on a huge document with a lot of sections to begin with. So Jacob was very open for that. So then we will just need to take it further. I will at least try to see if I can check out if they need some help. So once after July, probably after the vacation, we can take it up with Jacob directly then.
That's good. Yeah, I think like having some like milestones which you can reach in not just like half a year, but maybe like in a couple of weeks or so. That's usually like a good thing that you have like some kind of goal which you can reach in the near future. I think for this project it's a bit tough. All right. Thanks so much for the update, Diana. And moving to the next one, Green Scraper, Christina.
Yes, that's me again. We had a small break in meetings due to some issues with calendar, but it was okay because I think we're not many, and it's been a little bit hectic. But we had a sync on Monday this week. Me, Al Hussein, and who is also the project co-lead, and also Claire from Comms Working Group joined us, which was really nice because we discussed a little bit the timeline, if we should maybe set some kind of a date that we could work towards to make it a little bit more measurable for us. And also we discussed a little bit about what kind of details we want to have in the list of the events that we would like to make available on the TAG ENV website, and what kind of changes we should focus on in the Green Scraper tool, and which changes we should think about in terms of how we can visualize that data on the website. So I think more or less agreed that we would target also KubeCon and Cloud Native Con North America in November to have like a rough version of the GitHub workflow that would use the Green Scraper tool to generate the list of sustainability related talks and create a PR that would then populate this list on the TAG ENV website. So we'll start with the rough version, and then we can add additional information about the different talks as we go. But the goal would be just to get the first version out around like before November, even if we manage that. So we will have one more meeting on the 15th, so not Monday next week, but the week after that. It's a project with a smaller scope, mainly scripting and automation. So basically GitHub workflow and bash scripting for now. In case anyone is interested, we have a few tasks on improving the Green Scraper tool, and we have a few tasks in order to like work with this with the data that the Green Scraper tool collects in order to nicely show it on the website. So if you're interested, we will have the meeting on the 15th, and then we will have a new meeting in August because both me and Al Hussein will be on vacation in the end of July. Yeah, we don't have any Slack channel, so you can just join us. We have information about the meetings in the TAG calendar. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for the update, Christina. Any question? Does not look like it. Okay, then moving to the next one. Cloud Native Sustainability Week. Nancy is not here. All right, then let me think what we talked about last time. So if I recall, actually, maybe I can also bring up the meeting notes very quick. It's here. Right. So we kind of talked about like a couple of things. First of all, that we need to work on the organizer guide. So if you like to host a meetup during the Cloud Native Sustainability Week, last year we had like kind of like an extensive document which you can read through, which is also referenced on the website. And we need to update this, make it a bit more concise, maybe not have multiple pages, just one page, which already is probably long for most people in general. And also there should not be too much information at the end. This is just like a meetup. So writing this was one of the action items. This is like the support guide. Then that we have an issue template for every meetup. So if we host a meetup in one city, that we have one issue that we can follow up on in terms of where are we standing with this meetup. Do you need any support? So there's like not just like the general tracking issue, but for every meetup, like one issue as well, which hopefully makes things easier also to communicate between the global organizers and the local meetup organizers. And then the third one was that we are reaching out to the CNCF, to Audra and Katie, about sort of detecting where are very active community organizers, because at least from my experience, this is like not always like a steady curve. Sometimes you are more engaged in organizing meetups, and then you organize maybe in like one quarter, like 2 meetups, and then you're kind of stalled for half a year. So engaging those who are very active in the last year or so could be good. And then also finding out which regions are not represented. So we have like a more global scope sort of the entire event, which we already had last year, but we can always improve. So I remember, I think these was like the main things. Feel free to mute yourself. Christina gives us a thumbs up. Sounds good. All right. Okay. I believe the next sync is next week on Monday, but I would have to check the calendar. If you're interested in participating or learning more about the Sustainability Week, the tracking issue, I can also link it in chat. It's scheduled for the first or second week of October this year. And we will have a bunch of meetups talking about cloud native sustainability things and just advocating for the space and learning more about our field. All right. Are there any questions for this topic, Cloud Native Sustainability Week? Michelle or anybody who organizes meetups, probably. All good.
Yeah. Of course, with Valeria, we start to organize the meetup in Italy. The idea is a meetup in Milan, a physical meetup, and another in online in Italian, because it's easier for us finding speakers and so on. But yeah, no question at this moment, and we start to create the call for paper for try to involve speakers, and yeah, we have the location. Maybe we can find another one, but we have a B plan in case, and we have also budget from a couple of companies that want to support the community, and I think that we have a good group of organizers this year, because there is Valeria, me, but also Ludovica and other people from the
Green
I don't
Software
remember.
Group.
Yeah, Green Software Group. and yes, another important stuff, maybe can be useful, and yeah, can be useful. During the case Italy 2 weeks ago, a lot of people start to ask about how organized events work, and what they need to do to organize a local meetup about the Sustainability Week. And I send all the reference about the documents and the Slack and the channel and the other information to all the interested people around Italy, because maybe it's a good idea. Yes, of course, the online event, it's good, but you know, the offline meetup, it's better. And the KCD Italy was very good, and there is a lot of people around the Italy, and maybe this year there is more people around the Italy that can organize events. Yeah, that's it. Of course, Valeria, if you have any stuff to add, feel free.
No, I think you said all the things we have going on right now. So I don't think I have anything else to add.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think the document, like having a more concise one-pager document would help a lot. So if somebody is just interested, but may need a bit of convincing, or just is interested in the overall idea, having like a very concise document usually helps. So would be good to get this soon. Yeah, and also from my experience, also from last year, communities are very different. So some are very ad hoc, are kind of having speakers like 2 weeks before the event, and then they know like what is going on. And some others are kind of planning it like 1 quarter before, and then have everything very detailed. So but we will see. I think we are on a good track, and good to hear that we have already 2 things in progress in Italy. Awesome. All right. Are there any questions for the Sustainability Week? All right. This is the last project update. So I believe, yeah, it is. So the next one is the APAC meeting. So this is the second APAC meeting we had so far. And let me go to, I think, did I already opened it? So the APAC meeting was it last week? I think so. And if I recall, we talked for the most part about Kepler and the CI, and their plans and possible like integration points with working group green reviews. So I think, yeah, they wanted to reach out. I think this happened. And as also Nikki said, there's some more discussions going. We will see where it ends. I don't think there's too much actually to talk about this, because we kind of already covered this with the green reviews working group update. So the goals of the Kepler CI were kind of a bit unclear, but I think it's getting a bit clearer right now. So we will see. So just like as a general also information for this meeting, the focus is also to keep better in touch with the Kepler team, to know like what is going on with this project, and where they're heading. And I think, for example, like talking about the CI is already like a very good point, because like in the past we were just missing like these integration, these communication points sort of like in meetings, because a lot of maintainers from the Kepler team are based in Asia and they cannot attend this meeting very well. So this is very good. Right. We don't have any items on the open discussion section.
I'd like us to start queuing up demos again, because that made people excited. And also having green reviews come in and show just how stuff works would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, 100%.
We could do that.
Because
Like,
I think that would get you more interest too. You think?
Yeah, I think maybe later in July when we have made a little bit of progress.
Why don't we plan on the first meeting in August? Because people take a lot of summer vacations, at least in Europe and US.
That works for me.
Yeah, the 7th.
Yeah, 7th works.
I'm not sure if we can make a demo by the 1st of August. We're a bit far from that, right? At least for the new pipe,
Yeah.
like new workflow.
We can just show what we have, like, at that moment in time. And the things that need to be worked on, maybe people will be interested in helping out.
Yeah, but like, I mean, to show a classical demo with, I don't know, CLI or like a terminal doing things around. I don't know. I struggle to see it. I struggle to see how we can in the next 2 meetings integrate. We don't have proposal 3 yet done. Like
we don't
not even
need
structure
to.
this.
Think of it as a status report of what is currently there and then what you need to do still.
I mean, you can even show the dashboards, like there are many people that may not have joined the working group meetings earlier, and for them that would be interesting to see, just to start with the dashboards and what you have and how you thought about visualizing that as well.
And we could like maybe give a overview of proposal 1 and 2 and what we have decided through those proposals. Like present the proposals and present what we have, present the dashboard from the alpha version. There's a lot of things that we can show even if we don't have everything together.
Maybe a question to everybody who joins for the first time. What would be like some of the topics you would be most interested in? Because we cover quite a bit, or we can cover quite a bit. They can do more projects or general topics, Kubernetes stuff, or so on.
Yeah, I have a quick question. There's a project called Cube-Green. Do we plan to, work on it or make like an operator similar to that? I know it's not a part of CNCF, but I was just asking.
So generally the way we've worked with groups like that is we're happy to provide a platform for them to come demo, but we're not here to do any particular project. So we might use, for instance, with green reviews, Kepler for measurement, but we might also use another measurement in the future because we're not a project group. We're a tag, an advisory group.
Right.
So if they want to come in and do a presentation on Green, we would absolutely welcome it. And some of the people here may go support.
I think we already had a presentation from Green. It was like a year ago or something.
Yeah, having more of them won't hurt.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people are new. Yeah. Same for Scaphandra, same for Kepler.
Yeah, maybe some development happened since last time, like in a year. It's probably some new functionality maybe even included. So it's totally a great idea.
If you want, I can ask because Davide is a colleague of mine, and
Yeah, that would be great. Maybe we can have like just like a round trip of all the projects that we already kind of know and that are good, just to give an update or get an update after a year, 1.5 years or something.
Yeah.
Probably a lot happened.
yeah, we started also to discuss about donate the project KubeCrane to the CNCF, but it's
Yeah.
a preliminary discussion, and we need to understand also with David because it's the owner of the project, and
Yeah. So yeah, there's also like a because like under the Kubernetes organization, there are also quite a bit of projects that could like you can make the argument this is like more like an extension to Kubernetes. It's like a standalone project. Like where do you cut it? Sort of. So I believe, for example, like Minikube and Kind and all these projects are under the Kubernetes org and are not like separate projects. And I think for Cilium, it's also very similar. So under Cilium, you have a bunch of extra projects that kind of extend Cilium, but they are all sourced under Cilium. So there would also be a question for KubeGreen. So is it like more like a project which is under the Kubernetes umbrella, or do we have it as a separate project? But this is something we can, or yeah, we can ask the TUC what their thoughts are. Yeah. We make a note. Right. Would somebody like to reach out to Scaphandra? Or I mean, we can also split it up. I can also reach out to Scaphandra, Malo. Maybe you can reach out to Huamin if you like.
Yeah, that's no problem.
And then we can maybe next week and then the following weeks have updates from these projects if they have time.
Yeah, I think that would help too, because it gives actually, we're talking about all the shenanigans we're getting into, but also it helps the projects. I don't know. It makes these meetings more interesting when there's technical content as well.
100%. All right. Are there any more topics, Ayan, or anybody else, which you would like to talk about, like in upcoming meetings? I mean, we can also talk about standards. We can talk. I mean, it's like, as I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the one thing I'm curious about, and I haven't, I keep looking and there's nothing going on in this space that I can find, is if anyone's looking at data transfer, networking, et cetera, with carbon or power use. Because with these AI workloads, it's like 20% of the compute. So, and so we're still focused on the CPU and the node, but we're not looking at the off-node effects of these workloads. So if anyone knows of any of those projects, I would be really interested.
I remember seeing the Green Software Foundation had a very long discussion that was public about this. I can try to find the thread.
Yeah, I was probably on that thread, but there's still no official metrics or how to measure, because how to measure is the hard part. But if you can find the thread, can't hurt. Maybe there's something in there.
I remember there was like from the International Energy Agency, like a report where they reported on the network usage of data centers. Would be interesting to know where they are sourcing their information from.
They're probably doing like power from
probably.
the entire section instead of per workload, right? That's because measuring per workload is hard.
Yeah, and it's probably also data that, I mean, I remember talking to somebody from AWS, and they said, like, for the most part, they are not aware themselves even about these measurements. So they don't have a lot of these numbers. So to talk about energy consumption of some AWS services, for example. And
I mean, I suspect it's a factor of just cost. Because you know, like we just recently had a cluster in the VMware environment. And you know, it was like a multi-AZ, and we went like a single region deployment instead of like a multi-region, just to save on cost. But the only metric that was available was cost. So maybe we can like derive metrics from the cost metric. You get what I'm saying? Like a sub metric.
yeah, I mean, that's like, yeah, I mean, that's if we don't have any like data, any APIs that we can talk to get actual metrics, we need to do over assumptions, right? And then money would be one.
And I assume like this, the tags, they usually set the technical standards as to how to operate like greener workloads. So maybe like, you know, in the industry, we have this tendency toward having multi-region, multi-AZ deployments just for like DR but honestly, like that's just not very green. Like, so unless absolutely necessary, you know, having multi-region, multi-AZ is very expensive, but also, you know, polluting.
Yeah, that's the kind of like a difficulties in terms of security. So if you have to encrypt every message, it also adds like performance, and it also adds more to cycles and everything. If you have failover, things like this, I don't know, if you have like an observer for every process you're running to check if the process failed to start it again, things like this, not just add complexity, but also kind of add more resource usage. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I suspect you can also like look at the bandwidth, you know, to add to your point that like, you know, if you look at the bandwidth and you look at the distance between two data centers, right? And two regions, you can actually probably reverse engineer what it would cost, and then what it would cost to have an, you know, network coverage between those two areas, and then you can calculate the carbon footprint that way. Are there any initiatives going on this front? Or would you like someone to work on it?
I'm not aware, to be honest, on any. Malo, do you know of any?
No, I don't.
I don't think so. But this also goes like in my like analysis in the way that you understand logs. So we have a lot of logs that we can already measure, and then you need to do like, I mean, it's we need to do like probably for now like manual analysis of these logs, and then we can add like something on top to do it like in a more automated way. But this would be very interesting, and I think we had like a proposal earlier this year in January about these things, if I remember correct. I need to look at it. But so earlier this year, we had basically like a call out to everybody who is attending these meetings, what are topics you would like to talk about, what are projects and so on. And then one was, I think, also about benchmarking and then analysis of all these kinds of metrics. I mean, that would be a great project. Something along those lines. Yeah. All right. Okay. So for the next meeting, maybe we can have a short presentation from Davide about Cube Green if he's available. That would be awesome. I can reach out to Scaphandra and we can also reach out to Kepler. And then depending maybe what you think, Nikki and Antonio, about like when would be like a good time to talk about green reviews, we can also schedule this like afterwards in the month or before, whenever it makes sense. Does it sound good?
Yes, I will ask to Davide today or tomorrow, and I will write on the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
One more point that I thought of when you asked about this, Leo, if of other topics or things we could have as part of the meeting. And maybe that would become even easier with the user stories project. But like from my personal experience with the meetup group that we have for green software in Norway, we see like a lot of challenges about companies not actually sharing much or doing much with regards to sustainability as part of their platform development and software development. So like when we reach out to people that say that they are focusing on sustainability, and then we ask them, what do you do, like in terms of technical or like the software and platform development lifecycle, nothing comes out of it. So I think it would be awesome if we could also use this place as a place where we could share, where companies, or like not companies, but like engineers from concrete companies or projects that actually do something as part of platform development, for example, could come in and say, hey, we are measuring this and this with these tools, and that's how we work with this data further to kind of optimize the way we are utilizing resources. But that's how we optimize our clusters, because I think it could be also the real life experience, seeing how this works in, for example, dev tests, production environments at some other projects would really probably help to spark many discussions and maybe even like interconnect people, so that if someone is trying to push it through, then we have actually a place where people could connect and learn from each other. I would benefit a lot from it personally, and maybe more people would. And I think User Stories project could also have can be a great opportunity to reach out to such company or like contact points.
Sounds good. I mean, right now, like if I look at our agenda, we don't really have something like where we talk about something that we got aware of or that we been aware of, like in terms of sustainability since the last meeting. So maybe we can also add like something next to open discussion items, which identifies or like which targets more like these questions. So what we learned from, so if we are working with customers or if we work on our own projects or at the company or whatever. And then, yeah. So next to the user stories, I don't know. Could be good, maybe. I don't know if we would use this section. But we can give it a shot. I mean, we can write something here, so something like that.
We had like a presentation point or something. Could it be like presentation or, yeah, storytelling, so something like that. We used to have it like on top of the agenda, like planned presentation or something. But I think since we didn't have many, oh, it's there. Okay, it's in the bottom. Maybe we can move it up. Oh no, it's totally on top. Okay, yeah. Maybe like a combined field or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question about these tag meetings. These tag meetings, I assume they're a lot less technical and they're more about defining standards and providing technical guidance, and as opposed to being actually like as opposed to incubating projects, right?
So this depends like a lot on the tag. So there's like a bunch of more tags, and some tags are just inviting other projects to get like a status update about like how is this database going, and this is a new way and whatever. And then this is basically the entire function of the tag. They're kind of inviting projects. The projects are coming, and then the tag gets like an overview. And then if eventually maybe the project applies to the CNCF, or if the project would like to move levels, then the tag can give guidance about the status and the health of the project. They know some people, and then they can like review sort of the state. For us, this is not like, this is also part of the goal, of course, but we don't have like 50 projects to look at, so there's less traffic right now. I mean, there's like enough projects, so like Cube Green, and like you can find enough projects, but this is just like one of our goals. So like we are focusing a lot on understanding like what cloud native sustainability actually means. So when you talk about cloud native like storage, you don't have so many questions, I would say. It's more clear to everybody what it actually means and what we need to do. For in our case, this is not so clear. So we have a couple of projects where we, for example, Green Scraper is basically about surfacing talks and discussions that are happening at conferences and so on, that people can look at the TAG ENV website and then dig into certain areas. So this is like a big focus of ours, connecting the community and understanding where we are going. And then also having some projects like the Communities one, where we are more focusing on like giving guidance at the end. Or we have also a landscape document where we kind of aggregate all this information to give guidance and so on. So,
Okay.
yeah. But I mean, we have like a whole bunch of possibilities how we can define for ourselves also what it means, technical advisory group in some extent. At the end, we are supporting the TUC in decision making, but yeah, we can focus more on presentations, we can focus more on projects, or less, or whatever. We can also work more with cloud providers or whatever. This depends, like first and foremost on the contributors. So everybody who attends these meetings. Maybe Marlo, you would like to say something to this, or?
Yeah, the other thing is this is a place where technical discussions can happen, especially if you're looking for connections between, I'm looking at this. Do you know anyone who understands that area? So it is a good place to come, and if we have the presentation slated ahead of time, we do have better attendance in general because there's something exciting to go see. So if you have something specific that you're looking at, and you put it on the agenda ahead of time, we can also advertise in our channels and generate excitement.
Got it. Have you guys ever thought about like, partnering with like, or inviting like, there's something called TerraPass, and they kind of provide like carbon offsetting products. So maybe you can also think about that. TerraPass or Vera.
That is a good idea. We do, because we are open source, we have to be really careful that we are not a sales organization. So depending on whether or not they're open source, that also determines how much support we can give. Like they can come and show their product, but we do focus on open source at CNCF.
Got it. Non-commercial interest.
Yeah, for the most part. Stuff everyone can use.
Got it.
So Sergio wrote something in chat, as you mentioned previously, to create a basic guide of metrics and how to get it could be nice for current and future projects.
Yeah, I noticed that with Kepler, the documentations, I didn't understand how they measure the thing, just like numbers, right? And I see that similar projects has the same problem. Where to find that information, how to interpret that information, where and how to calculate that metrics to push maybe other people that can create other projects or extend the projects, or to understand what is happening, right? What is carbon emission,
Yep.
how they're more in depth, right? More like generic.
Yeah, and those models in these projects haven't always been evaluated from a scientific standpoint. So I'd be nervous about putting that out at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's
Alright.
actually an open
Just have
source.
1 minute, so maybe, just
There's actually like a, I don't know if it's an open source standard, but it's a standard of, it's called the verified carbon standard, which, you know, you can look it up. It's called it's like a nonprofit, vera.org. And they provide like a framework, you know, to come up with like carbon crediting and, you know, transparency within in
Yes.
carbon credits.
Yeah, I remember some of the open telemetry folks also approached us some time ago about extending open telemetry or exploring this field. And I think they started a working group. So we need to maybe catch up and see where this effort is going.
I
But we
know
are-
them. I can reach out to them.
Yeah, if you would like, that would be great.
Yeah,
There's
that's an easy.
There's also KlimaDAO. It's like this, they have a DAO. It's a directed acyclic organization. It's like a crypto, but like, and they're mostly focused on climate finance.
Very interesting. Haven't heard about this, I think. All right, but we are at time. So
You thinking it was going to be a short meeting, Leo?
yeah, and I said it's probably a short meeting, but no, it's not. It's great. Good to see. Good to see so many new faces, but also returning faces. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, and I think there's no meeting this week, so maybe see you next week on Monday or Wednesday. Talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for running this,
Thank
Leo.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.